Hello, guys. Welcome back to TFD. Man, it's the same old story with the WNBA. While Caitlin Clark and the owners are getting down to business as usual, the WNBPA keeps playing games, wasting everyone's time. They still don't have their act together. The leadership is all over the place, and they're pretending to be united when half of the players are actually ready to sign the deal the WNBA owners already laid on the table. Let's be real. We've seen it before, and we're seeing it again. The WNBPA keeps sending out proposals that no one even cares about. It's not like there haven't been signs of frustration from the players already. We've had big names come out and call out the WNBPA's leadership as selfish. Agents are going public, blasting the WNBPA for their lack of transparency. And now, Caitlin Clark and the owners are just moving forward. They're not sitting around waiting for the WNBPA to get their act together. And you know what? That's exactly how it should be. The WNBPA is wasting valuable time that could be spent improving the game and the business side of things, while Caitlin Clark, along with the owners, are making moves. They're focused on the future, whether the WNBPA gets their act together or not. We've heard from player agents who have had enough of the WNBPA's lack of transparency. These agents represent a huge chunk of the WNBA, from rookies to stars, mid-tier players to the big names. And they're not happy about the way things are being handled. Caitlin Clark's agent, Erin Kane, as well as other top agents like Lindsay Kagawa, Jade Lee English, and Gina Paradiso, have all expressed frustration over the lack of transparency. They've come out and said the WNBPA isn't allowing them to do what's best for their clients. And when you've got agents like that speaking out, you know there's a serious issue. Here's the thing. These agents represent players across the board, not just the superstars, not just the rookies, but the whole spectrum. They need to be able to advocate for everyone, not just the players with max contracts. The WNBPA is supposed to be supporting everyone, but it seems like they're leaving the mid-tier players out in the cold. They're not consulting with the agents on important decisions, like the survey that was supposed to go out to players. Instead, the WNBPA went ahead and sent out a counterproposal without any input. It's a joke at this point. Like, how are y'all this bad at your job? The WNBPA isn't taking their responsibility seriously. They're more focused on playing political games than actually getting a deal done for the players. And while they keep fumbling, Caitlin Clark and the owners aren't waiting around. They've got a plan, and they're sticking to it. Look, I'm pretty sure the WNBA owners have a contingency plan in place. If the WNBPA doesn't get their act together soon, they'll move forward without them. Nneka Ogwumike, the WNBPA president, can keep prancing around and playing hardball, but the owners aren't going to wait around forever. If they continue to hide information, if they keep being shady with the players and agents, the WNBA is going to keep pushing forward. Ain't nobody got time for these games. The owners have a schedule to stick to, and they're not going to let the WNBPA's games hold them back. They're making it clear they're getting things done, whether the WNBPA likes it or not. The players, the agents, and the owners all deserve better than this. If the WNBPA isn't serious about negotiating and working for the players, the WNBA is going to move forward with or without them. The bottom line, the WNBPA needs to stop playing around and start getting serious. The owners and Caitlin Clark have a vision, and they're not going to let this clown show slow them down. Let's hope the WNBPA gets it together before it's too late. All right, folks, buckle up because the March CBA schedule is about to make things wild in the WNBA. Things are going to get hectic, and I'm talking about full-throttle chaos. If you've been keeping track of the CBA situation, you know what I'm talking about. But if not, no worries. I got you covered. This March is going to be a whirlwind of events. And here's what you need to know about the upcoming schedule and what it means for WNBA free agency, expansion, and the draft. First off, let's talk about the dead drop date, the deadline that everything hinges on, the one that cannot be missed, March 10th. This is the date that everything will either fall into place or start falling apart. It's the moment where the WNBPA and the league need to put all their cards on the table. Now, I'm sure the owners have a backup plan in place. If the WNBPA continues to be a roadblock, if they keep dragging their feet or staying in a state of delusion, the owners aren't going to sit around waiting. But here's the deal. The CBA needs to be settled by March 10th, or things are going to get complicated. Now, that's just the start. Even if everything is signed off on by March 10th, there's still a little more to be done. It's going to take up until March 31st for all the legal stuff, the contracts, the fine print, the attorneys to hash everything out. That's when we'll see the deal officially signed. That's a huge day for everyone involved, because once that's done, we're off to the races. But here's where things really start to pick up pace. The day after everything is signed, on April 1st, and I promise this isn't an April Fool's joke, the Portland Fire and Toronto Tempo, our two expansion teams, will receive the list of protected players. What does that mean? It means the WNBA teams will send out their list of players who are not available to be picked by these new expansion teams in the upcoming expansion draft. This is the first step in building up the rosters for these new teams. But don't blink, because right after that, on April 6th, the expansion draft goes down. That's when Portland and Toronto will officially select the players they want to add to their squads. But hold up, there's more. The NCAA Final Four and National Championship are going down from April 3rd to April 5th, and this is big. The WNBA's future stars are going to be on display, and you can bet that scouts and GMs will be watching closely. Players like Lauren Betts, Tanaya Latson, FJ Johnson, Olivia Miles, Awa Pham, and AZ Food are likely to be in the spotlight, and their performances will have a huge impact on their draft prospects. Now, on April 7th, it's time for pre-agency. This is when the behind-the-scenes action starts heating up. Players will start talking to teams, agents will be meeting with GMs, and discussions about future contracts will be taking place. You'll hear some names getting floated around, and whispers of players agreeing to terms with certain teams will start to surface. But the deals won't become official until April 12th, when free agency officially kicks off. That's when the fun really begins. Teams will start locking in their players, making signings, and you'll see all the headlines roll in. It's a frenzy of activity, and trust me, it's going to be fast. But wait, there's more. The college draft is on April 13th, just one day after free agency starts. This is when we get to see some of the top prospects like Paige Bookers and the other elite players I mentioned earlier getting picked up by WNBA teams. This draft is going to be huge. The future of the league is going to start taking shape right before our eyes. These players will hit the ground running, and many will be expected to make an immediate impact. And that's not even the end of it. Just 6 days later, on April 19th, WNBA training camps kick off. Teams will start getting their players into shape, making adjustments, and getting ready for the real action to start. This is when things go from talk to action. Then on April 25th, we hit the preseason games. This is the first taste of basketball for fans, coaches, and players as they begin to fine-tune their game and get ready for the real season to start. We all know Caitlin Clark will be stirring the pot, keeping the drama alive, and making headlines every day. By the time preseason games roll around, Caitlin will be all over the place, making noise, stirring up excitement, and getting everyone hyped for the season. And finally, the big day. The regular season tips off on May 8th. That's when the WNBA will officially kick off its season, with games starting on May 9th in primetime national TV slots. Caitlin Clark will be there, ready to take the spotlight and show why she is one of the biggest stars in women's sports right now. So, let me break it down for you. The schedule is packed, things are moving fast, and the stakes are high. If the WNBPA doesn't get it together, the WNBA is ready to move forward without them. Caitlin Clark and the owners have everything lined up. They're ready to roll, and they're not going to wait for anyone to catch up. If the WNBPA doesn't get their head in the game, they'll be left behind while the WNBA keeps charging forward. Get down in the comments and let me know what you think. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and share the video. Things are heating up, and the action is about to kick off.